let's get this party started. My guest today is Liz Wyman. Liz Wyman is the author of 100 plus iPhone, iPad tricks you can do right now, and is the founder of iWorkshop Academy. She has trained thousands of individuals since the early 1990s in computer and digital software, and has additionally created web content, e-learning modules, and instructional technical documentation for Hewlett-Packard, Schlumberger, and other Fortune 500 companies. Liz Wyman, welcome to Money for Lunch.
Thank you for having me, Bert.
You bet. So I got to ask you, here you are, you're just hanging out, and you're thinking, man, let's see how many iPhone, iPad tricks I can come up with. I mean, tell me how you got to write this book.
Well, I've trained a lot of people, and at a special continuing education school called the Women's Institute of Houston, where we have, but a lot of people are Gen X, baby boomers, and seniors, and they all started asking similar questions, believe it or not, when every year the iOS software for iPhone and iPad is updated. Screens change, there are new features. So I created this book that there are many, many more tricks than 100 plus, but this is a specially curated group of tricks, some that you can't even find elsewhere without really knowing what to look for. And there's also a lot about iOS 12 and the new features. So this is a place where you talked about resolutions. This is a place where you could really become a power user within doing one trick a day for the next 100 plus days. And it's very, very helpful to know this for productivity, for business professionals, especially.
Gotcha. So it's not just like, it sounds to me now that it's just not a bunch of, quote, funny tricks or fun tricks. It's productivity tricks as well, right? Little hacks.
Oh, definitely. Whether you're a millennial or you're a senior or a boomer or Gen Xers, we must not forget them. There was a recent article about how they were left out in a major study. However, we only use 10% of our iPhones, and we only use what we're very comfortable with. Therefore, we're missing out on amazing features that the iPhone and iPad offer us that would actually save time, save money, increase money, and could even save your life, some of the features.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. What are some of the iPhone, iPad tricks that you think are most essential for business people and entrepreneurs?
Well, I can summarize several of them. A lot of people don't realize you can scan a legal-sized document on the fly to your Notes app, and you can add page after page. This is incredibly helpful. I was at a closing once, and someone had to run to FedEx Kinko's because they made a mistake where we could have just scanned into our phone. You can also...
Well, wait.
Sorry?
So you're not... Are you talking about, when you say scan, are we talking like taking a picture and adding it to Notes and then taking another picture and adding that to Notes? Or are you talking about like a real scan?
A real scanner. There's a difference, and I know it sounds similar to take a picture, but this way you actually go into your Notes and you can scan a document, and then you're given these little white edges where you take your finger and drag down so you can actually approximate the legal size, which many of these documents are, and it says next page. So it comes out, and the lighting is correct, and it comes out just as if you had used a real scanner at the office. But this turns it's a mobile handheld office. That's what we really have in our iPhones. And you can also transform your iPhone into a magnifying glass, a measure tool, where you could just point it at something on the wall, like a rectangular object, and get instant measurements. And it also is a level. So these things are helpful for many different careers. You could be an interior designer, you could be an attorney, if you know the capabilities of your phone, you don't have to run around to different stores buying tape measures because you can't locate it, or magnifying glasses for really hard, small print. There's so much you can do. And there's many more. In fact, there's one trick that's been around since iOS 3, many years. And it's one of the most frustrating things that happen to people, which is if they're typing into their phone, they're doing a text or email or even word processing of some sort, and all of a sudden their text completely disappears. And this has happened to all of us. Rather than saying, oh God, now I have to skip the lunch hour and redo this text, you can just shake your phone. When you shake your phone, a menu comes up and it says undo typing. You just tap undo and the text comes back. So this can save you much time and frustration. And a lot of people don't know about this.
Shake your phone. I love it. Oh my
It's
goodness.
It's gotten lost in the sands of time since it was so long. And so my book does bring tricks, that very little known tricks, along with brand new features of iOS 12.
That's incredible. And I just love that. And I love what you said, that these are really mobile offices. And it's so true, because I can do everything with my phone that I used to do with a laptop. And that includes dictation. And so I can dictate a letter or a proposal, and then I can edit it and, change the text and do whatever I need to do. It's incredible what you're able to do.
It's true. There's an app that comes with Apple called Voice Memos that they've revamped in the new version, and that is a great dictation program. There's a couple of third-party apps that might be helpful too. One is called Voice Recorder, and that allows you not only to record what is going on, it's like a real recorder, but it also allows you to turn it into an MP3 audio where you can just send it to someone. There's another one called Tape a Call. There are some states where you can tape a phone call between two parties, and as long as one of them, yourself, knows, it's legal to do. And so you can actually use this app and be able to record conversations directly from the phone call itself, which is once again very invaluable to many businesses.
Yeah.
But as far as some other quick tricks, they revamped the stock app so you can add your own stock to a watch list, and you get news about the stock along with where it is in the market. You have the ability now to add, my favorite really is to customize your control center. Now, a lot of people don't really know what control center is, but have you ever turned on your flashlight? Usually they call it Where I Find My Flashlight. That's control center. And there are many icons in there that a lot of people don't even use. But now by going to Settings, Control Center, and then tapping Customize Control Center, you can add many features right to that area. So when you swipe to access it, many shortcuts right there.
That is amazing. All right, so let's talk about this, because you mentioned apps. What, in your opinion, are the most, what are the most, we call it must-have apps for 2019 to help increase business or productivity or success? Talk about those.
Well, I think some of them you could summarize under general productivity. Evernote has been around forever, and
Forever, yeah.
It's a great notes program, as you know, that's been around. It lets you clip info from the web, create notes. You can tag all your clips and notes for easy searching, etc. Also, what has been around is Any.do or Wunderlist. Those are great to-do list apps. But the key word for 2019, I would say, is collaboration and automation. These are the two trends that we're seeing more and more. So many of these, like for instance, the project management apps, like there's one called Asana. It's a free, like many of these, they're free for small groups or personal use, but as you get more complex, there's a fee. But this Asana gives you checklists, tasks, calendar. It integrates with Google Drive and Dropbox, and once again, fosters collaboration. Another project management software I think is very important is called Trello, which is a beautiful visual program that allows you to move different areas around. They call them cards. You've got Quip, which is a collaboration app that gives you charts, documents, and spreadsheets, can be edited in real time by multiple users. Many of these, as I said, have to do with collaboration abilities and also automation. And in that vein, I ought to mention Siri shortcuts, which is really catching on like wildfire with when people realize what it can do. And back in the day, they used to call them macros, but basically allows you to come up with a keyword and group a series of repetitive actions under that keyword. So let's say you're on a ski trip, and every morning you get up and you have to check the weather, you do that series of tasks, and then you have to check the slope, is it, what's available. And so there's, maybe 10 or 20 things you do you can actually record those, give it a name like ski day, and then in Siri you can just say run ski day, or tap it. And so these are a series of shortcuts that automate regularly done tasks or tasks that you do. But the best thing about Siri shortcuts is you don't have to create them yourself. People all over the world have created amazing examples of Siri shortcuts. Everything from taking clips off the web for you. Someone came up with one that records if you've been pulled over by a police. It turns on the camera. But you can just import these shortcuts that are already done and have a whole library of available automation. And so people are real, and you don't have to be a developer. You don't have to know anything about. You can just download what other people have done.
Man,
this is really exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So the book again is called 100 Plus iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now, and as the author Liz Wyman, and as you can tell, it's not just what do you call it, useless tricks that you might want to, I don't know, that maybe just stuff that you might think of as just for fun or trivial. But these, they're everything from, as you mentioned, doing shortcuts to productivity to collaboration to scanning documents. This is really if you own an iPhone or an iPad, this is probably something that you want to pick up to get to find out how it can better your business or your collaboration or everything. Because needless to say, iPhone is one of the more popular phones out there. There are literally companies that have iPhones, iPads, and Macs. They are from end to end. They are an iPhone company, or I should say an Apple company. And I love what you said there in the very beginning, Liz, that most people use about 10% of the phone's capacity. I'm probably like at 4%.
Well, we all just have what we do. And as you mentioned about comfort zones many times, this gets you out of your comfort zone of, hey, I feel so great. I do everything that I always do. But most people just end up texting, maybe playing games, emailing, using it as a phone. And that's a real waste. You spent a lot on it. But I think the book should be seen as an investment. Of course, it's available to Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but on my site, which is iWorkshopAcademy.com, I'm still running an after holiday special, and anybody and it's for less than on these other sites, and people will receive a full report of the top 2019 essential apps for the iPhone and iPad. So you kind of get a little. I'm from New Orleans, and we call it lagniappe. It's something a little extra that we send. And I think people have It's amazing. People have talked about how much they've gotten out of it. It's just very heartwarming to know that people can change the way they use their phone and not waste time anymore by running around when they have features on there
Sure.
they can use.
All right, so they can go to iWorkShopAcademy.com.
That's correct, and they will get that special report. But when you talked about automation and collaboration, they've actually updated the Notes app, which is a no-frills app that a lot of people just jot notes down, that now it allows multiple people to collaborate in real time on the same note. So you don't need to get any complex. Yeah, you don't need to get anything complex. Now you can make tables, add sketches. There are so many things you can do in this lowly Notes app that we used to think very low, or it was lowly, you know.
Sure. All right, so let's talk about this, because obviously, social media is, I think, a big distraction. So are there any tricks or hacks for making sure the iPhone is being used productively versus, too much leisure time, for lack of better terms?
Yes, and this is an excellent question. Just came out in iOS 12, which is basically came out in September of last year, is Screen Time. This is a native Apple app. You can go to Settings and Screen Time. You can track your activity. It tracks how much time you spent on the phone or the iPad. You can also lets you set time limits for category. So if you have certain apps or games you like to play, you can set a time limit so it says, okay, 5 more minutes left. It is amazing, allowing you to really become organized and disciplined this way, but it's also used by many of us business professionals with children, because you can actually, on their devices, program what they can and can't do, what explicit sites. Part about it is you can, if you're a business professional with children, you can actually have your own passcode on their phone so they can't get in and fool around with what you've done. So it's very difficult time. We all are prone to addiction of some sort or other on the social media, all the excitement going on, and you can't sometimes believe how much time has passed when you've just been on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So this screen time can really be used to keep you productive and also help you with your children.
And just to clarify, it's called Screen Time, and this is a native app that you can download.
Oh, it's actually on. You don't have to download. You can just go to Settings and Screen Time and set it up.
Gotcha.
And there are many different things you can set up. So, but there are some other tracking apps. If you want to download, there's something called Eternity Time that breaks your day into work, play, and sleep. It has timers, labels. You can set tags. There's pie charts. And there was also something called Rescue Time, which works on the Mac and actually Android phones also. But truly, the Screen Time has pretty much taken over because you don't have to download it. And it's pretty amazing what you can do for yourself and for the people in your family you may have concerns about.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay, so just to clarify, so if you have kids, you can set up a password that works for you, and then would they have their own password that only works for them?
Yes, when we get into our phones, most of us have set up a passcode, which is usually 6 numbers that we get in. So when we do that, it gets us in our phone, but we can also set up another passcode in the Screen Time app through settings, in which the kids can get in with their passcode, but when you need to do special settings, stopping them from going to certain apps or only 15 minutes a day can you do this, and each app by category, you can go in manually and decide what you want. You would first type in your own passcode child device within the Screen Time area. So your child would be able to get in with their normal passcode, but then you have an additional one just for this function. It's harder to be a parent these days than ever with all the social media, the bullying. So there's a lot you can still do, and it's right there in your phone. And for yourself to track your activity and make sure you're on track.
Yep, I love it. I love it. All right, so it's called Screen Time. The book, again, is 100 plus iPhone, iPad tricks you can do right now. The author, Liz Wyman. And if you want to grab the special that Liz is talking about, you can go to iWorks. What is it?
iWorkshop. It's kind of like...
There it is, iWorkshopAcademy.com. iWorkshopAcademy.com. And you get the book for less, plus you get some bonus.
A lot of lanyap out there.
A lot of lanyap. I like it. Lanyap. All right. So, Liz, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and sharing. It has been delightful having you on the show talking about these tricks. Love to bring you back and talk some more. And I just, again, thank you so much for putting together this compilation of tricks.
Well, thanks so much, Bert. It was amazing to be here talking about this.
You bet. Good stuff there from Liz Wyman. Again, 100 plus iPhone, iPad tricks you can do right now. And really, you can do right now to protect your family. You can do right now to be more productive, to be more collaborative. So let's share this episode with everybody we know. Let's help as many people take control of their iPhone or iPad. Let's protect their kids. Let's protect their productivity. Let's protect their, their business. As always, my friends, thank you for sharing this show. And remember, you were created to succeed.
Tune in Monday through Friday here on Money for Lunch. And check out our website at moneyforlunch.com.